Hi, my name's Akito. I'm a London-based DJ and beatmaker. And in today's video, we'll be going over a few methods you can use to defeat beat block, also known as writer's block. I've embraced these methods over the last few years. Hopefully they'll come in handy for you if you're struggling to drum up new ideas or need to get a project finished. If you find any of the methods useful, please let us know which ones in the comments. And if you have any effective methods of your own, please feel free to share them with us in the comments too. Number 1 is making a beat around an acapella or a loop. If you found some music you like and find inspiration from but struggling to make your own, you could always chop up existing bits of music and construct a beat and melody around it. This works particularly well with acapellas and loops. You'll obviously want to remove your inspiration at some point for copyright purposes, but this is a great way to get the new beats and ideas rolling, unless they are royalty-free loops of course. Also, if you have files of previous projects, you can always repurpose these loops into newer ideas and compositions. I find this way super helpful. Going through old files and rediscovering elements that fit in and complement each other have helped me loads to complete most of my music I've released to date. So I always recommend keeping everything and revisiting what may be deemed as redundant at the time and try breathing some new life into it. Number 2 is trying a different DAW or setup, an alternative workflow. If you have access to a different DAW or even an outboard setup, applying your skills to a different alternative workflow can break the pattern of writer's block. If you have too many plugins, try limiting yourself to just a few and seeing what results you can achieve. If you have too little, maybe it's time to do some research and invest some coins into some new plugins or hardware. From my experiences, breaking out of the rut of beat block is accepting and experiencing other choices. The path less travelled. Different approaches and methods can help inspire and defeat it effectively. If you don't have access to an alternative setup, you could always use your voice. Humming out melodies or beatboxing drum tracks and rhythms to lay out new patterns to be written or even keep as layers in your music can be really effective. Number 3 is making music to visuals. If you hit beat block hard and can't get the ball rolling in your DAW or a sequence in your hardware, it could be worth chopping up some visuals of your favourite film or television show and rescoring the music. This can help explore new moods, tone and feeling away from your go-to sound palette and pushing you out of your comfort zone. I think a huge part of defeating writer's block stems from leaving what you're used to and implementing your sound and skills in the uncomfortable, developing the unknown, pushing away from your go-to and embracing something new to you. Who knows too, you could be great at this and create a portfolio full of rescored movie scenes and land you some crazy production jobs. Embrace the unknown. Next up, we have new sounds. The first one's going to be sample shopping. There are many times when a single sound can make or inspire a new composition. Knowing this, beat block can be influenced by the overuse of the same sounds and samples. So if you're not discovering and using new hits, synths or designing fresh ones for yourself, it may be time to go hunting or creating. The easiest and most effective methods to find new existing sounds for myself over the last year have been through Splice, a platform dedicated to high-quality royalty-free sample packs. Sounds can be purchased individually rather than whole packs, so it saves time while sifting through the fruits of your exploration, as your collection only consists of the ones you've selected and purchased through tokens. The basic monthly subscription will only cost you a few pints and can potentially lead you to sounds you've been longing for in your tracks. I highly suggest it to anyone looking for new sounds. And number 2 of new sounds is sound design. Whether you're making sounds from scratch or processing existing samples to your preference, sound design can be inspiring as well as the most effective way of honing into your own sound as a producer or artist. If this concept is completely new to you, there are loads of great tutorials on YouTube to get your eyes and ears around. I personally tend to create and leave my sound design separate to my music production as I can focus on the sounds individually without the distraction of multiple elements. I'll then use and tweak these sounds in my own productions as it keeps the speed of creation faster and less laborious. Whether you're creating synth patches or single drum hits, I think it's a great way to learn how sounds are created and developed, giving your productions a unique touch. I highly recommend starting at least dabbling in it if you haven't already. Next up, we have writing music in a different or unfamiliar key. If you have a go-to scale or notes you tend to favour, this exercise is great in breaking the pattern and exploring new paths. If you hit up Google and find the keys to unfamiliar territory, with a quick search you can locate an abundance of new and unfamiliar scales to work from, all eliciting new emotions, feelings and directions. A break out of the norm. If you enjoy making miserable music like myself, maybe write something smooth and uplifting, inverse the tone, or stick to what you used to but in a scale that is alien to you. New results, new avenues. Next is collaboration. This is one of my preferred ways to chuck beat block out of existence. Working with other people is probably the quickest way of becoming inspired and learning a load of unfamiliar techniques, all laid out in a single file or stems. If you're not used to collabing, it's probably a good time to start. Reach out to a producer mates and get that relationship going. Whether it's using stems or having the whole project file, the canvas is no longer blank. The elements or the skeleton beat are there to be adapted and played with to your heart's content. This can lead to weird and wonderful results. I highly suggest trying it out at least once if you haven't. And next is BPM. I've left one of the most obvious to last. is beats per minute. Personally, I was stuck at 130 BPM for years, only to discover I could set my BPM to whatever I wanted. It may sound stupid, but I was so caught up in a particular sound, it was difficult for me to elude it. And with this abrupt change and exploration came a fruitful outburst of new sounds and rhythms. If you're stuck churning out one sound at one speed, I highly recommend breaking the pattern from time to time. I really hope you've gained some value from today's video. If you have, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'll also leave some videos in the end card for you which you might find handy. Stay safe and take care.